Well, I got in contact with you because I was suffering quite badly from emetophobia, which is a phobia, an irrational fear of being sick and of others being sick. My parents had suggested hypnotherapy, so I started Googling hypnotherapists in the area, and your name came up, and we booked a sort of preliminary appointment, and we decided that the Thrive programme would be the best way to help me with this emetophobia, because it was a more thorough programme than hypnotherapy, and it would be a more sort of comprehensive therapy, and that it was more successful with emetophobes. It started getting really, really bad in the last 5 years. The reason I got in contact with you is during norovirus season, the media was splashing these dreadful headlines all over the news, millions of victims affected by norovirus, and I was nearly missing work. I was wearing gloves outside of my house. I was obsessively washing my hands and cleaning surfaces wherever I went. If I knew a friend had come down with norovirus, I wouldn't see them for weeks after the symptoms had gone. I'd sit researching norovirus for hours and hours and hours, getting all the facts, trying to sort of prepare myself and protect myself. I avoided certain social situations. I would have friends vet films for me in advance just to make sure that there were no vomit scenes and to warn me when there were. I mean, it was really just taking over everything, and it was unpleasant, and it was getting worse, and it was starting to affect my job and my sleep and my relationships, so it was time to do something. I'd been to see a psychiatrist when I was younger after having a panic attack on a ferry, when I'd become convinced that someone somewhere had been sick, and my parents decided to send me to a therapist, and we didn't really touch upon the phobia itself, just sort of talked about my childhood, which wasn't massively helpful because I didn't quite know where this phobia had come from. I think I just tried to protect myself as much as possible from this threat, without actually tackling the phobia itself, so I hadn't really sort of sought a lot of help, but I'd been interested in various forms of therapy, but hadn't heard about Thrive until a few months ago. So it's different because it's not just about phobias. It kind of teaches you how to completely restructure your thinking process, and it teaches you that a phobia isn't actually a phobia at all. It's not actually a real thing. It's your mind putting up a bunch of barriers, and it's to do with something else. It's not. I'm not afraid of being sick. I'm not actually scared of that. It's nothing to do with that. It's a whole other thinking process. It's the thinking process and the thinking styles that are all wrong. And until I discovered Thrive, I hadn't actually thought about my own thinking styles and my thinking processes and how I thought about things and what kind of thoughts populated my mind every day and what stopped me and started me and whatever. I didn't have that kind of introspective view of my own mind until Thrive started. It's different because it also didn't affect just my emetophobia. It's had this massive ripple effect across my entire life. Everything's sort of changed. My professional life, my personal life, everything's just had this sort of ripple effect where in any normal situation I have a thought that is a limiting thought where I usually go, I tend to just stop myself and remind myself what I've been learning with Thrive, and it changes. I just let go of it, and it's bizarre. I didn't really believe in the psychobabble, oh, it's amazing, it's going to change your life. I just thought, I'm going to give it a go, and if it changes my life, then fantastic. If it doesn't, then I've learned something new, and it's done both, which is great. There's bits and pieces of anxiety still there, because I still have to practice every day and remember to reset my thinking, because a thinking style I don't know how to explain. You're going to edit this, maybe. A thinking style is something that you teach yourself, and you can unteach yourself just as quickly as if you know how. So when I do still have moments of anxiety, I do refer back to the book and I refer back to the therapy, and it helps. So